Hey everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Just wanted to go over an update of where I'm at with Redis parallelization coding. Combined, they will make a really good combination for a HFT-like performance system. So I'm using this as a basic blueprint combined with Redis, NOSQL databases on top of parallelization. So let me talk about my experience so far. I have shown in a previous video this R3C, just so everybody knows, these are the C++ clients. So I have here under C++, the one I tried out, showed a video of. This compiles and builds no problem. The problem with it, I'm looking for more of a publisher subscriber model for the Redis. This kind of doesn't support it. On top of that, I was able to build it in Linux as I demoed before. Once I was able to import it into a CodeLight project, it kept core dumping on the library. Now I don't know why, nor do I have the care to try to debug it or figure it out. So we're back to ground zero once again. And I need to stress that this is a fluid situation because these C++ clients change over time as they change Redis itself. So you have to be really careful on what you choose. So here I am back on my Mac environment, and I'm using this CPP Redis, and I was able to build it no problem. Now, when I'm referring to in terms of the subscriber and publisher subscriber model or PubSub, these are the sort of things I'm looking at. Simple stuff where I'm just doing a subscriber into Redis, sort of like a queue with event handling, and just create a queue within Redis, and then when a request comes in, you want to be able to basically get it as more, let's say, ticks or data is added to the message queue. That's what you really are. It's like a message bus, and it's fairly fast. So there's this that the other example didn't clearly show, and there's the client as well, which is the one that will subscribe to it and basically get whatever's available in the object or the collection. So that's what I'm looking for, and on top of, there is other examples to show the ability of what this particular library can do. So if you come under here, test, builders, there's a bunch of stuff here as well. And as I said, this is not final. So you have to be aware of that. So if I go into my code here, here's the Redis server running. Typical default host of 127.0.0.1 with a port of 6379. Again, all default. But here in the CPP build, this is as part of the instructions down here. These seem to work okay if you follow this to get or clone the Git repository, CD into it, and then install for the building tests, and then make the EIR, CD build, and then follow these instructions to set up the CMake part for both the tests and the examples, and then just do a make. Okay, that does work, and what it will do is it will create this new folder called build, and then when you run the make within the build, I think, what will typically happen is, let's say if you are trying to do let me show you the test first. So here you see you have the CMake file right here, and then you have the source files. I showed these earlier. That will get created as part of that CMake command I showed earlier. on top of, there is a set of examples as well. And you can see here it has the make file as well as the CMake file, as well as all the source files as well for the subscriber and client example that I showed earlier. All right, so knowing that, when you make it, based upon the instructions that showed you in this GitHub README file, what will happen is it will create this build, or you have to create a build folder. And what will happen is from there, when you do the make, it will create a target folder, and then you get all the available bin files, or EXEs, I guess you could call them. Remember, I'm on a Mac here. And if I break this Redis server instance, what will happen is if I try to run subscriber, it says it can't connect. As you can see here, failed to connect to the Redis. So if I relaunch that, okay, so it's relaunched. Now I can subscribe to it, and it doesn't do anything. So this threw me off. I was expecting it to print stuff, but I'll show you the code in a minute. And then you can look, also run the client as well. This just prints out the world, and that's it. So basically what it's doing is, if you go into the source code under examples here, if I show you first the subscriber, it's very simple. There is no messaging here, I don't think, as it's trying to subscribe and to the Redis instance. And here it's going to raise an event in the signal. So this is what I'm kind of looking for my code. So I just want to show you that. Also, if you go into the client, all it does really is it just does a set, and then it does basically a retrieve of the hello collection, and of course it's going to be world, and that's what it will print out. See here, raises signal, boom. So let me just show you that result here. So when I ran Redis client, it just ran the world. So let me just try an experiment here. I'm not sure if I tried this yet, but if I do a get hello, right, there you are. So the hello is still stored in this Redis instance. Now if I break it, do it again, nothing. So this is a truly in-memory database. There's of course commands you could run to serialize it, and then retrieve from within Redis itself to deserialize that serialized file if you want to keep it stored on a disk. Okay, so knowing that, that's all cool. Now, hopefully, as I said, it's fluid until I start getting this code built into an IDE, like CodeLake in my CodeLake, as you can see here in this IDE. So I'm hoping to achieve that. Now, the other big test is, some of you may or may not know, I like my FastFlow library for parallelization multi-core. It's actually really good. The problem in my case, because I'm on, again, Mac here, I was not able to successfully build it. So for now, I'm just going to abandon FastFlow and see where the Intel TBB will take me, because I know I'm able to download the source files for OS X and be able to get the source files as well running. Now I've done that earlier. It's fairly easy if you are on Mac. You can probably do the same thing with apt-get, apt-get on Ubuntu Linux. But for those that are on Mac, you can just do a whole brew install TBB, and that will install your TBB library and set up all the configuration settings for on the OS 10. So in my case, right, I gotta do an upgrade, sorry. So I'm just gonna show you an example. I've done this before. This will get the latest version of TBB. So here you can see I have the latest version of TBB installed. Okay, let me show you a previous download of TBB that I've got running. Okay, let me just see what we got here. One more up. Okay, so I have here TBB, this directory, and in here, everything is able to build. If you follow the README file, it's fairly similar. That's why I just jumped right into it because I know I was able to get build it in the past. So knowing that, what I've been able to do is if I go into examples, you'll see a variety of source files. Let's try and remember. Okay, so we have test all, I think it is called. So here's a Fibonacci example. So we can run this. Okay, so if I run that, get rid of that. Oh, it's a directory. Okay, so if you just do this, if I just do make, and it will make it right on the spot, no problem. There it's running, boom, the test passed. So you know that this runs okay. It's one of the better things because I couldn't get that far with FastFlow. So where am I now? Test all, test group, test task arena. Oh, so here's another example. Might use this one called pipeline. So if I go square and just try to run that. So there you go. Doing the run of square in this example here, that's running fine as well. So I just wanted to show you these two libraries seem to work okay on a Mac OS 10. The next query is if I'm able to get them integrated into CodeLight, the IDE. It shouldn't be a problem, but as I said earlier about the R3C, this library here, it failed. Got some mysterious core dump on the runtime, so I just failed and bailed and moved on to what I'm showing you in this video. So hopefully, I'm hoping this is pretty close to final, but nothing's final until I get everything running. So do remember, it's all fluid. Later.